Hey there, Frank Gustafson. I am your host, and welcome to the Sales Performance Insights podcast. I'm your guide to building real, scalable sales performance. And let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you looked at your pipeline and actually trusted what you saw? Because what I see over and over again is sales leaders and business owners doing what I call hope math. You know the routine. Well, if we close this one, or if we close half of that one, or hey, this one's really looking good. But before you know it, you've convinced yourself that you're on track. But deep down, you know that you're not. That's not forecasting, that's gambling. And if your pipeline isn't at least 3x your number and qualified, then you're operating on hope, and that doesn't scale. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a business where the owner or sales leader says, hey, Frank, we've got a solid pipeline. We just need a couple of these deals to hit. So I asked to see it. And here's what we find. Deals that haven't had any activity for 40 days. A verbal yes with no proposal. An 80% probability based on nothing but gut feel. And here's the truth. If you need $100,000 in business that month and your pipeline shows 120, you're not in a good place. You need a minimum of 3x. And it's not just 3x in volume, but it's 3x in real qualified opportunities. Let me give you an example. I stepped into a business, a $5 million services organization, awesome company, great team, great product, but stuck at the same revenue plateau for a couple of years. And the owner told me, hey, look, we're fine. We've got $300,000 in the pipeline. We just need one or two of these to close. Sound familiar? So we pulled up the pipeline, took a look, and here's what we found. One deal was 90 days stale with no clear next step. Another hadn't had a real conversation since the first call. And one was based on a referral that hadn't even been contacted yet. So after we stripped away the fluff, the real pipeline, barely 80K. And they needed 100 just to stay afloat that month. So we reset, wiped the board, rebuilt the stages, requalified everything, and began to look for actual proof, not just gut feel. Was it painful? Sure. Yeah. But 60 days later, they had a real pipeline of 3x and the revenue started to flow. Why? Because now we're managing reality, not fantasy. So why does this happen? And it's because nobody trusts the number, and they probably shouldn't trust the number. Most teams confuse activity with progress. They leave deals in the pipeline just to feel busy. And the comp plan, it often rewards the appearance of motion rather than the truth. When your comp plan pushes your reps to protect themselves instead of qualify hard, you get a bloated pipeline full of fluff. You can't forecast that. You can't coach that. And sure as heck, can't scale that. And an anemic pipeline creates desperation. And when your team is desperate, they start to pressure sell. Instead of relieving the prospect's pain, they become part of the problem. Now let's talk about what 3x actually means. It isn't about dumping a bunch of junk in your CRM to make your dashboard look good. It's about having 3x your sales target in real qualified opportunities at every stage of the funnel. So you've got to ask yourself, hey, are these deals based on buyer behavior or seller hope? Is there real pain here, and can we solve that problem? Do they have a real budget, and are they willing to invest? And do they have a real commitment to solving their problem? Or are we just chasing maybes just to feel busy? A 3x pipeline gives you room for things to slip because, look, fact of the matter is things are always going to slip. It gives you time to coach, not chase. It gives you the confidence to hire, to forecast, to invest in growth. And here's the mindset. A pipeline isn't a spreadsheet, it's a lifeline. And you cannot scale guesswork. So here's the takeaway. Pull up your pipeline. Pull it up now. Ask these questions. Is it 3x your monthly or quarterly target? Are those deals qualified against a real framework or just gut feel? Would you bet your own money on the number that you're looking at? Hey, and if the answer is no, that's good because now you've got clarity. It's time to start cleaning it up. Coach your team to qualify like their commission depends on it, because, hey, it does depend on it. And make sure your pipeline is something you can trust, not just talk about. Let's land the plane here. Look, 3X isn't just a rule of thumb. It's a sanity check. It's a safety net. And it's how to build a real sales engine, an engine for growth. Hey, if you're a business owner or a sales leader and you're trying to scale and your pipeline feels thin, it feels fuzzy, or flat out fiction, it's time for your wake-up call. If you need a partner to help you structure, rebuild some stages, coach the team towards pipeline, hey, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Let's get your sales team building something real. Hey, that's it for this episode. If you got something of value from this, maybe you know somebody else who would too. Please share it with them. And until next time, don't just manage hope, manage the truth. And as always, remember, nobody ever got fired for improving sales performance. See you again soon.